And that was 5 things that you need to know before you sit CSEC IT in 2024. Hi, I'm Godiva, and I'm your host for the Crack the Code CSEC IT series. In this video, we're going to be talking about 5 things you need to know before you sit CSEC Information Technology in 2024. Now, grade 11 can be one of the most nerve-wracking parts of growing up as a high schooler in the Caribbean, because grade 11 is when you need to get your subjects, you want to get your grade 1s, you want to make sure that if you're going to be doing CAPE, if you're going to be going to sixth form, you're preparing yourself. And if you're thinking even of just jumping right into university, you have to get those grades. In this video, we're going to be going through 5 things that you need to know, especially if you're going to be sitting the CSEC Information Technology exam in May-June 2020. By the end of this video, hopefully you learned something new that you can share with other classmates who are also doing CSEC IT. Now, number 1 on our list. The most obvious and possibly most important thing that you need to know going into your exams this May is the exam date. Now, the exam dates are May 24 for the paper 2 and May 31 for the paper 1. Luckily, both of these exams are in the morning, which means that CXC is already setting you up for success. Both exams happen in the morning, which means that you get to be fresh, bright, and early and ready to put out your best work. So be sure going into the exam that you have a good night sleep the night before. You get up, you have a great breakfast, get to school on time so that you can get there in advance to just relax yourself. Because here's a little trick. People tend to do better in the morning. Your brain is more alert, which means that if you want to capitalize on this and make the most of it, make sure you go to your bed the night before, get a proper night's rest. Nobody should be up pulling all-nighters on the night of the 23rd or the 30th. You must be in bed. Yes. Number 2. Now, the second thing that you need to know about CSEC IT is that people have done it before. So I've presented here 5 years worth of stats to show you that, guess what? Chances are if you sit CSEC IT, you are going to pass. What if I told you that roughly 90% of students in the past, not 1, 2, 3, but 5 years, got a grade 1, 2, or 3. They passed. Roughly 90%. You know how high that is? That means that if there are 10 people in a room right now, 9 of you are going to walk out with a grade 1, 2, or 3. But it gets better. Around 60% of students who sit CSEC IT in the past 5 years get a grade 1 or a 2. And 25% get a grade 1. I know we're all here striving for ones, but just know that people have done it before and you can do it too. The third thing you want to know is how to study. And this is different from learning your learning style. You've heard about kinetic, auditory, visual, but learning how you study is really to retain the information. And it took me a very long time to understand this. Now, I tend to be a kinetic learner, but when it comes to my study style, I like to talk. If I am around 4 or 5 persons and we're talking about a subject, we're talking about a topic, we're talking about what we got wrong, we're talking about the exam, we're talking about questions, we're talking about problems, talk. From now till the morning, talk. And that is really what makes things stick for me. But it wasn't always like that. I used to stay up late at night working problems, reading notes, writing notes, reading the textbook, and I didn't realize that it wasn't sticking as much as I thought. But when I really started to do well is when I made sure that if I wanted my best grades, I am going to find 4 or 5 serious persons who share a similar style, and we're going to talk. We're going to talk about the subjects, we're going to talk about the topics, and we're going to learn from each other. Because as I learn something, I am sharing it with them. As they learn something, they're sharing it with me. And guess what? If I learn something and I kind of learn it wrong, somebody's going to look at me and say, you know, G, it's not really so it go. And they show me the right thing. And when they show me the right thing, I never make that mistake again. But this might not be your style. In fact, I had a friend whose style was simply to write the textbooks cover to cover. We're talking about 200 and 400 page textbook. And with that, she would have earned 3 or 4 master's degrees. And it might sound crazy, but it's important that she understood how she learned, she understood how she studied, and she also understood herself and her own learning challenges, as well as the things that really are her learning sparks. And with that, she made it work for her. Some people go as far as making voice note recordings of themselves talking about their notes and listening to it at night, or maybe you want to listen to it as you drive to school. But whatever it is, experiment, try things out, try. In the next 2 to 3 weeks, you're going to have some time to go through and see, hey, does this work? Does this not work? You know, if I try to do a study group, does a study group work? If I try to do it by myself, am I getting more done? Experiment. And most important, just remember, everyone is unique. Everyone is different. So something that works for somebody else, it might not work for you. And something that works for you might not work for someone else. So just try it out. See what works for you. Now I have a little initialism. Yes, initialism and not acronym. Very important for number 4, and that is KYS. Not the normal KYS, but thank you very much, Kirby. This KYS is Know Your Syllabus. There is a new syllabus for May, June 2020 onwards. Now, a quick Google search of the syllabus will oftentimes bring up the 2010 syllabus. Make sure this is not the one that you're using. Know your syllabus and know that in the new syllabus, there is less emphasis now on programming. You still need to know programming, but there's just less emphasis. It's kind of hazy in terms of how that works out, but I trust CXC, they know what they're doing. So just bear in mind that the syllabus is new, less emphasis on programming, and so make sure that when you're going through your textbooks, you're bearing in mind what the new syllabus is, as well as I will put a link in the description to the new syllabus so you have that for reference. Number 5 is having a winning formula. Now, this winning formula isn't any secret weapon. It still requires hard work and intention, because we're going into exam not just to do anything, but we're going with a strategy. Now, if you go back to point 4, which is know your syllabus, you'll see that 47% of the marks that you get in paper 1 and paper 2 come from theory. That means that you're really going over the things that you would have done in grade 10, and you go over some of the information processing and data processing that you're just learning now. And then you really spend the rest of the time on productivity tools as well as programming and problem solving based on what you're doing in your SBAs. Your SBAs should really be this place where you understand what you need to for the word processing, the spreadsheets, for the databases, for your flow charts, so that when you go into the exam, these are topics that you understand, because these are practical skills. And with these practical skills, they put you in a position that, like, once you are practicing, you go into an exam, you see a question, you understand what the question is asking you. And that's the place that you want to put yourself in. You want to put yourself in a place where nothing that you see on this exam is new. So spend the time. Yes, you're going to be intensely studying the theory, but just as intensely understand your SPAs. And that's why we created this Crack the Code series for CSEC IT. Because we want you to win. Because we're all winners out here. And how we win is going to be dependent on the effort that we put in right now. So, for the next couple of weeks, we're going to be here on this channel talking about all those theory topics, talking about those productivity tools, as well as the programming and problem solving. So that you're not going to be seeing anything new. You're going to go into exam just saying to yourself, this is my game. This is my game to win. Because you're already a winner. But you still need to put in the work. Because winning doesn't come easy. Winning still takes effort. So practice, study, learn what works for you. In the meantime, if you're going to be tuning in for this series, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share with a friend. So go ahead, leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. Let us know where you want more help so that you can crack the code for CSEC IT in 2024.